We're going to go over yesterday's warm-up really quickly. So something that you guys struggled with was you guys saw the shape, a lot of you, and your brain just went, woo, and it shut down. So here's what I want you to focus on. It's asking you to find the value of x. All right. Now the value of x right here is only in this angle right here. Okay. And then something very important that they've showed us is we've got these two parallel lines, and the angle that has x on it is sitting on this transversal. Well, if that's the case, then I only care about this transversal. I don't care about the 3y plus 44 or the 94. And if I were to turn this around, I bet you it would help you. So in fact, let me redraw it, because a lot of you saw the shape and your brain shut down. You didn't see that you had a transversal stuck between two parallel lines, and that you had 2x here and 96 here, and to notice that they were on the same side of the transversal and they were on the interior, which meant they were same side interior angles, or consecutive interior angles. Pretty much what that means is you can add these up to equal 180 degrees, and then you can solve for x. And you would get x equals 42. Yes, it was really that easy. Yes, I know you're kind of upset now that you overthink so much that you missed the most basic thing. And here's the deal. If you see a shape like this, please, please, please don't shut down. Look for your symbols right here. Look for what you know and work with that. Do not see everything just go and shut down. And I bet you, if you look at the same shape right here and you're looking for y, hey, look. Parallel lines, transversal. These two angles are on the same side of the transversal instead of alternate sides. And because they are same side or consecutive interior angles, that means they're supplementary. So we could get 3y plus 44 plus 94 equals 180. I know, you're kicking yourself in the booty a little bit. It's okay. So 138 equals 180. And then you subtract 138 from both sides. You get 42. Divide both sides by 3. And you get y is equal to 14. All right. Let's go to the next one. So this was both questions 3 and 4. Determine the minimum number, of angles you would have to know to find the measure of all the angles cut by a transversal on a set of two parallel lines. That's a lot to know and read. So transversal, cut, and set of two parallel lines. So two parallel lines. All right. And it's cut by a transversal. The minimum number of angles you would need to know would be 1. Now, the explanation why is that if I were to give you of these angles, say I told you that angle 1 is 120 degrees. Well, then you could figure out all the rest of them. So right here, you could figure out that angle 2 is 60 degrees because it is supplementary to angle 1. Now, we're just going to use this 120 degrees and pretend we haven't found any of the other ones. And you can find almost all of these other measures then. So angle 4 is also going to be 60 because it's supplementary to angle 1. Angle 3 is going to be congruent right here with angle 1, and it's going to be 120 degrees because it's a vertical angle. Well, guess what? This entire thing, because it's a parallel line, this entire thing, you're going to copy it and paste it in, and you've pasted that 120 from the angle 1 over here, and you get 120, and that's because it's considered a corresponding angle. All right. Now, you've also got 120 on the same side of the transversal on the outside, the exterior of my two lines, which means they are going to be supplementary, and this would be 60. So they would be consecutive exterior angles for this one. Sorry, y'all. Let's clean this up a little bit just so you can see this a little bit better. As I know some of you are kind of like, can't believe I missed this. Angle 7 is an alternate exterior angle with angle 1. And therefore it is congruent and is 120 degrees. Now angle 6 over here, that's the one that you technically can't solve without using your other angle relationships. And you could use anywhere from 5 to 6 different reasonings to explain this is 60 degrees. So the first one that I see is that it's supplementary to angle 5. It's also supplementary to angle 7. You can also say that it's a consecutive interior angle to angle 3, which means it's supplementary. You can see that it's a corresponding angle to angle 2, which means it's congruent. These are the 180 ones, and these are the congruent ones, and there's one more. Actually, two more. Another one would be that it's vertical to angle 8. And lastly, it's an alternate interior angle to angle 4. Now, it doesn't matter which of these 6 reasonings you were to ever use to define why angle 6 was 60. But you need to know your angle pairs and their relationships when presented with parallel lines. Which ones add up to be 180 or are supplementary, and which ones are congruent, meaning that they are the same in measurement. All right, here is the last one. So I wanted you to describe the relationships between John and Georgia. You could do Philip and John. And Georgia and Philip. And all you have to do was tell me the angle pair relationships. That's it. So John and Georgia are vertical angles. Philip and John are alternates. They're on opposite sides of your transversal here. And they're on the outside of your two lines being cut by a transversal. So they're alternate exterior angles. And lastly, you've got Georgia and Philip that are in the same spot. It's almost as if you had copy and pasted them. And so they would be corresponding angles. Now remember, just because these aren't parallel doesn't mean these angle relationships still don't exist. The relationships exist, but it might be that they're not always going to be supplementary or they're not always going to be congruent. Right? Guys, stop overthinking. You know how to do this. Look for what you know and you can do it. If you don't know your angle pairs, definitely look over that before your test on the 20th.